First up in the show, in the United States, New York City volunteers carry out their second large-scale aid distribution in broad channels, where 705 families received Tzuji's aid supplies, which included blankets, scarf, and $600 cash cards. In just 24 hours following the disaster, Tzuji volunteers were on scene with hot soup to warm up the victims.
As Tzuji volunteers continue to help the disaster victims of Hurricane Sandy, this time around, they are carrying out an aid distribution in New York's broad channels.
You need to use it within 6 months.
I'm going to use it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Catherine's belongings were all swept away in the floods. The $600 cash card is a timely help so that she can buy some clothing and tools for home repair.
I'm lucky I have a place to go home to, because some people don't even have that.
Like Catherine, over 3,000 residents in broad channels have to rebuild their homes step by step. To help, in just 24 hours, Tzuji volunteers arrived on the scene to distribute hot meals and blankets, as well as $600 cash cards to 705 households. Tzuji's continuous and selfless love touches the disaster victims.
Helped me out when it was cold, brought down some soup. You guys have been wonderful. You've been really great help.
You guys were here within 24 hours. You were the first people on the scene, if I recall. We were in the town hall. You were the first people as we walked through the door, before the supplies even started.
Meanwhile, other Tzuji volunteers bring blankets to nearby Rockaway Beach to help the residents who are still cleaning up their homes. As local residents gradually return to their normal lives, they know Tzuji's care and love will always be there.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, the Tzuji New Jersey chapter established a disaster command center on November 3rd. After conducting a disaster survey, volunteers are planning to carry out relief distribution for the hot-hit areas of Little Ferry, Toms River, New Brunswick, and Atlantic City.
Through the introduction of the mayor of Toms River, Tzuji received permission from the state's Office of Emergency Management to visit the sealed-off areas of Berkeley Township and Pelican Island for a disaster assessment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here, trees, power lines, and even houses lay broken or in pieces on the street. Cars that were not moved in time lay smashed, and even boats were blown ashore by the powerful winds.
But this house looks perfectly okay.
After Sandy, New Jersey truly looks like what Governor Christie called a war zone. To help, the Tzuji New Jersey chapter set up a disaster command center and will carry out aid distributions in the areas of Little Ferry, Toms River, New Brunswick, and Atlantic City.
We hope that starting from now, each zone will have a person responsible for communications.
In addition to cash cards, the volunteers also plan on distributing blankets to help against the encroaching cold weather. They hope to also increase the speed and range of the distribution.
We hope to prepare 4,000 of these relief packs because the scale of the destruction is just enormous.
If we are talking about several hundred households, we need a venue and security. Do we need to ask for law and order organizations like the police to come support?
The location of the venue is very important. If it is too far away, the disaster victims won't be able to make it.
Although many volunteers suffer power outages or other damages in the storm, they are still here today, putting the needs of others ahead of their own. Despite the extent of the work, volunteers are committed to getting help to the residents affected as soon as possible.
It is 4 a.m. and the sky is still dark, but Tzuji volunteers have already loaded the relief supplies, ready to travel to Atlantic City. Arriving at the distribution site, Texas Avenue School, residents were already waiting in line. Here in New Jersey, the sky is blue and the weather has returned to normal. Fortunately, the residents do not have to wait in the cold. In addition to the relief supplies, Tzuji volunteers also distributed socks to the residents, knowing that most of them have lost their homes, clothing, and all their belongings.
Well, there is a lot of people that were out of electric and out of gas over here, and their houses were full of water, like 3 feet. And this is very nice of you guys coming out here and helping these guys at the time when they needed the most.
Among the residents receiving the relief aid, many were new immigrants who were not fluent in English, and Tzu Chi volunteers displayed kindness and patience as they showed them how to complete the form.
Why you cry? I'm so happy for the help.
Tzu Chi distributed relief aid to 398 households, and not only did the residents take supplies home with them on the day, but also hope to look forward to the future. After the snow, the temperature has finally normalized in the state of New Jersey. Tzu Chi volunteers seized the window of good weather and carry out a large-scale relief aid distribution for 500 families at the South Thames River Elementary School. The relief supplies, which have come from Taiwan and the Dallas Tzu Chi chapter, are moved to the gymnasium before the start of the distribution. Among those assisting is the principal of South Thames River Elementary, as well as the staff from the local Office of Emergency Management. Although power has resumed to 95% capacity and life for residents is gradually returning to normal, what they still need most is the care and the support from the outside world.
I think just your organization is providing lots of support, lots of love, and I think the people here, I know myself, you don't feel like you're alone. You feel like you have the support of the world, and, and an organization like yours is just really heartwarming.
Dear friends, nature is unpredictable and fragile.
After reading a letter of condolence from Master Zheng Yan, the distribution began. The mayor of South Thames River, Joseph Champagne, was also present to encourage local residents.
You are not called the little town with a big heart for no reason, because it is true, you have a big heart. And for that, I love you all. Thank you.
I see it on TV where people say, oh, we're going to help, and then actually to see them in different places helping, but to see it firsthand. It's really a sight to behold, and that's just how I feel. It's a sight to behold, that people actually care, come from around the world to help South Thames River.
A warm heart closes the gap between cultures and religions and inspires great love. Thanks to the blessings and care of many, the residents of South Thames River will be back on their feet in no time. Tzu Chi volunteers conducted their relief distribution at the local Kingsburg-Bogler Middle School. The supplies came at a much-needed time for the residents as they start rebuilding their lives and homes.
The sushi is unbelievable. They told me how much the debit cards were worth, and I started to cry when I heard that you're actually doing that for our residents. I'm so gratefully appreciative and humbled by this. Thank you.
The relief items included blankets, scarves, socks, to beat the winter's cold, and flashlights, as over 20,000 families are still without power and electricity in New Jersey.
Among our relief supplies are blankets and instant rice. In case there is still no power and residents can't cook a hot meal, the instant rice is readily edible just by adding cold water or bottled water.
Mayor Hoff was present at the distribution site, giving hugs of encouragement to his people. With Tzu Chi's help, residents are finally able to put some of their worries to rest.
I'm gonna buy food. We're gonna go food shopping. And we're gonna go home and listen to music and be happy. So thank you.
I'm very happy. I'm very appreciative to all that everyone has done here for us. We're very organized and very kind to us.
The end of one distribution marks the beginning of another, as Tzu Chi volunteers continue on to survey other disaster-stricken areas, hoping to reach out to each of those in need.